Um, so I wanted to talk about the role of media in terms of directing our lives and how we sort of think about things. I've talked about this a few times on this channel, and I think it's really important. I actually got this idea from there's this guy on TikTok called the Parent Coach. He's pretty good. I like some of his stuff. He's actually really seems like a really kind dude. Anyways, he was talking about like best TV dads that parents can actually learn from. And one of the ones that he just talked about was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I remember growing up listening to that. Many of you don't know that show, but it was a really popular show about a kid that grew up in Philadelphia, and then moved to some rich parents in Beverly Hills. I do remember actually. There was the funny thing is what struck me as kind of funny is that I remember telling somebody in class that uh, they were my. This was back in grade 10. That Will Smith was my role model at the time. After watching this, it was kind of funny that I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so true." The family was very functional, despite the fact that there was a lot of crap going on in their life, and everybody was really different and all that kind of stuff. And that was what a remarkable show, I think, in terms of teaching people how to live life. And I think, we got to come back to that, right? And I think that's the role of social media at this moment. I'm really convinced of that as you're listening to this, as you see who I am, you get to understand the ins and outs of what it's what a life of trying to what it's like to try to live a good life. And a lot of times it's really tough, right? Like I'm always honest about that kind of stuff. um and nothing ever works out right. But you still try to live a good life, whatever that might look like for you. And hopefully you get that from what I'm saying is that I don't know what the right answers are. You don't know what the right answers are. You have your own things. I have my own things and battles that I'm facing. I'm completely different than you, but perhaps you can learn from some of the stuff that I'm saying and that I get to. And I don't know any of the answers when it comes to my life as a professor and as a researcher. For those of you who listen to that, I don't know what the right answers are. I really don't. I could just tell you what my life is. I don't know what the right answers are. Somebody trying to do something that's entrepreneurial. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the right answer is to being a dad and being a husband in any sort of way. I'm a giant disaster in a lot of these different um, fronts. But here's the thing: I try. I get up and I try, and I actively try to participate in as many areas of my life, and I can't do them all. I know. And in many days, I kind of stink at it. Many days I do stink at like all aspects, all those aspects. Sometimes I'm a really bad, husband. I just am not there when I need to. I can't sort of. I have a really hard time of talking openly about things, believe it or not. Um, and that there's a lot of things that go on that I'm not good at. But here's the thing. I get up and I try every single day, and I hope that's what you learn from this. That's one of the many lessons that you might learn from this channel is that I don't really necessarily, yes, it hurts when somebody tells me no or the world tells me no and I get negative feedback from the world. It does. It really, really hurts. But I get up and I pick myself up, and I'm the Terminator. If you've ever watched that old movie Terminator 2, where the Terminator just keeps chasing and keeps going and keeps going, no matter what happens to this poor robot. And hopefully that's the same sort of attitude that you have. Is that what is your alternative? You can sit around and do nothing and sort of feel sorry for yourself, or you can get up and do things that may or may not matter. And some of those, of the 100 things that you try, something actually clicks and something does matter. And I think that's the most important thing. And that's where you get to live through me, right? As the audience, as a person. And hopefully you find other people, not just me, that you're living through, that you're listening to, that that are, trying to be decent human beings. I'm not always decent. I'm grumpy. I, get moody and all those kind of things, just like everybody else. But I try to be there, and I try to let you know how I'm feeling in the days that I'm not feeling great, and the days I'm feeling really good. Um, and you get to experience that and be part of that. And hopefully you have other people that are there and present, that you're listening to, that's telling you the real story. And I think that was the really, coming back to the Fresh Prince Bel-Air, that was kind of the nice thing. You got to sort of see, I mean, obviously it's a show, right? The whole thing was a show. But you got to kind of see in the back of somebody's life of, you've got the sort of forward facing things, but then you get to understand everything that goes on, and it was really good for sort of character development that way, right? But now you get to see me, right? This is kind of my show, and you get to see other people, their shows, and sometimes people are just giant wrecks, and I don't listen to anybody on social media that doesn't help me out in any sort of way. In fact, there's probably only like a couple people that I listen to in various ways, because I've, you know, um, and that changes throughout my life, but that things, as I got to know them and the people that I listened to before, I realized that they're not good people, and that's a big thing for me. I got to realize that there's good people out there that really truly care, that are there, and that's the people I choose to pay attention to, and that's an important thing that you need to learn, is that not everybody cares. In fact, most people don't, and so you got to learn how to find those individuals in this world. It's hard. In fact, that's the reason why there's only a couple of you that listen to this. But it's just hard to find people that are there and that are caring. And you need to realize that that's part of the journey. And that's all I wanted to say. Follow people, listen to people that will add to your life, not take it away. All right, take care, and have a wonderful day.